Let's talk about Mangshi Ji. Her name is often mispronounced. Some say Mangi, some say Mangji. But her real name is Mangshi Ji, and even that carries tone, meaning, and identity. A woman whose story would slowly unravel into one of the most disturbing domestic crime cases in recent American history. One detail stood out from the very beginning. Mangshi disappeared, without her phone, without her passport, without her wedding ring, things no one leaves behind if they plan to start a new life. Yet somehow, that's exactly what her husband wanted people to believe. The husband on TV. This is 23-year-old Joseph L. In October 2019, he appeared on local news stations in Columbia, Missouri, pleading for help in finding his missing wife. He looked confused, overwhelmed, lost. "I really miss her. I need her back," he told reporters. "Everything feels cloudy. I don't know what's going on." He said he believed she was confused too, that maybe she needed space, that maybe she would come back. But behind the scenes, investigators were already noticing cracks, because just days earlier, Joseph himself had reported Mangshi missing. The night she vanished, police records show Mangshi was last seen on the night of October 8, 2019. Joseph said he went to sleep that night like normal. Then, at 5 a.m., he was woken up by the sound of their infant daughter crying. Mangshi was gone. No goodbye, no note, no explanation. Her phone sat untouched. Her wedding ring lay on a table. Her car keys were still in the kitchen. Joseph told police she had been acting weird recently, that they had arguments, that she was distant. But he insisted on one thing. He believed she left on her own. A marriage under pressure. Like many couples, Joseph and Mangshi struggled. They were young. They had a new baby. They were under financial stress. Sleep deprivation, pressure, and cultural differences weighed heavily on them. Joseph said they argued almost daily, but according to him, it was nothing serious. Yet evidence would later show that their marriage was unraveling far more violently than he admitted. Who was Mangshi Ji? Mangshi came to the United States from China in 2012. She was brilliant, driven, highly educated. She earned a master's degree in mechanical and aerospace engineering from the University of Missouri. She landed a job at Nanova Biomaterials, a medical technology company. She was building a future. That's where she met Joseph. He was younger, less established. She was his supervisor, but they connected. In 2017, Joseph proposed to her at Devil's Icebox State Park. The proposal felt romantic, but it was also practical. Mangshi's visa was expiring. Marriage meant stability, a green card, a way to stay in the country where she had worked so hard to succeed. They married. They planned a future. Then everything changed. A dream put on hold. Mangshi became pregnant. She stopped working. She became a stay-at-home mother. Joseph quit his job too and returned to school. Money became tight. Stress intensified. Power dynamics shifted. The woman who once led engineering projects now spent her days isolated at home. According to later evidence, she felt trapped. The first red flags. When Mangshi disappeared, police initially relied heavily on Joseph's version of events. There were no signs of forced entry, no blood, no struggle. Joseph suggested she may have gone back to China, but investigators found no flight records, no bank activity, no indication she was planning to leave. More importantly, She had plans. She had arranged to pick up baby food the next day. She had responsibilities. She had a child she adored. She wouldn't just vanish. The journal. While searching her computer, Joseph made a discovery. An online journal. Translated from Chinese, the entries revealed something shocking. Mangshi was in love with another man. A man living in China. A secret love she felt guilty about. Joseph claimed he had no idea. But this journal painted a picture of a woman searching for escape. Emotionally, not physically. Secret recordings. Then the case took a darker turn. Joseph handed over his phone to police. On it, they found over 10 hours of secretly recorded conversations between him and Mangshi. What they heard was disturbing. Not minor disagreements, not mutual misunderstandings, but control, humiliation, threats, verbal abuse. Mangshi sounded exhausted, broken, isolated. She talked about giving up her career, her freedom, her happiness. Joseph accused her of being abusive, yet the recordings told a different story. Isolation and control. Mangshi's mother came to help after the baby was born, a common practice in Chinese culture. Joseph hated it. He accused her mother of being dangerous, watched her like a criminal, eventually forced her out. Mangshi lost her strongest support system, a classic tactic of control. I want a divorce. On August 20th, 2019, Mangshi said the words out loud. I want a divorce. Joseph never mentioned this to police, but his search history did. He had searched for divorce filing fees, local divorce lawyers. Money was tight. Divorce would be expensive. And then, Mangshi vanished. The fake confusion. Joseph didn't call 911. He called 311, the non-emergency line. He spoke calmly, carefully, almost scripted. Later, investigators would find notes he had written for himself, reminders to appear sad, to speak in the present tense, to show sorrow. Why remind yourself your wife is alive, unless you already know she isn't? The arrest. On October 25th, police arrested Joseph, not for murder, for child abuse. Mangshi had sent her mother photos months earlier, photos showing severe bruising on their infant daughter. Joseph admitted causing the injury. He said he was stressed, overwhelmed. He pinched the baby to stop her crying. Investigators now knew exactly who they were dealing with. The body. For over a year, Mangshi was missing. Then, in March 2021, a hiker found a purse at Devil's Icebox State Park. Underneath it, human remains. It was Mangshi, the same park where Joseph had proposed. DNA, cell phone records, and muddy hiking boots tied Joseph directly to the burial site. Juniper needles found in the boot treads matched the trees at the grave. What really happened? The prosecution presented a chilling theory. On the night Mangshi disappeared, Joseph confronted her. She was face down on the bed. He climbed on top of her, applied intense pressure during what he called a massage. 4 ribs were broken, all in the same area, all consistent with force. She likely died from internal injuries. Joseph didn't call for help. He buried her. The verdict. Joseph claimed it was an accident, that he panicked, that he didn't mean to kill her. The jury didn't believe it was premeditated, but they did believe he was responsible. On November 11, 2021, Joseph L. was convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to 28 years, one for each year of Mangshi's life, plus 10 additional years for child abuse, 38 years total. Aftermath. Mangshi's daughter now spends time between Missouri and China, connected to the culture her mother loved. Joseph remains behind bars, and Mangshi Ji's story stands as a haunting reminder: the most dangerous place for many women is not outside, it's inside their own homes. Closing. Domestic violence is the leading cause of death for pregnant women in the United States. If you or someone you know is in danger, help is available. Thank you for watching Dark Room Stories. Some truths never leave the room,